Sorry about that false start. Good morning, Sean. Had a false start there. Sorry about that. There we go. Good morning, Juan. Yeah, I messed up on the first attempt this morning. I forgot to change the orientation, so it would have been laying sideways to everybody. Anyway, the fog's clearing off, but when we had the fog, it was freezing fog. Go figure. Boss TV, hello. Only Hope. Dolly. Yeah, you can kind of see those streaks in the video there. That's where the fog froze on the screen. Thank you, Boss TV. And tomorrow, now they're calling for snow tomorrow. Can you believe that? So if we have snow tomorrow, I'll probably go live during the day, not just in the morning. And if you guys want to share your channel, exclamation me. Give it a second after I do it because Nightbot gets confused. But if you type exclamation me like I just did, Nightbot will share your channel. Finally, Nightbot says it. There you go. Oh, congratulations, Juan. There we go. We'll pin that up there so everybody knows. It's a mite chilly. It's in the 20s on the back porch. I know how that is searching. Good morning, Misty. Again. I'd rather tell y'all good morning twice than to accidentally miss out. Mm. And we're about 4 hours away from the exact celebration. Celebration is the wrong word. Remembrance of Pearl Harbor. Got you, Juan. That's the way it is a lot of places, which is kind of sad. You know, if you got two people that are both equally skilled and they know one of them, I can see that getting the job. But if you get a job because of who you know and not because of what you know, that's wrong. Uh, and Misty, with everybody moving to your part of the world, that's just going to make things more difficult in finding work. More difficult to find work, more difficult to get a place to live if you don't have one. Marita, it's good, good evening to you, or good afternoon, I should say. Maritas, I hope you're okay. I'm looking forward to seeing Maritas move. Hopefully, she can move with her cousin and get work there. Yeah, I'm picky. I always want a place that I like and they like me. Any place I work, I want to be able to make a positive contribution. Well, Juan, we're happy for you. And it's a good time of year to be starting a job because usually it's a little busy right now, but January things usually calm down. Oh, geez. Misty needs a job juggling. Sounds like she's got good experience juggling. Well, it looks like a volcano erupted in Hawaii yesterday. Khadija, good morning, girl. Khadija, you had some serious trolls yesterday, last night. I don't like to ban people from channels that I'm modding on, but I timed that guy out for 30 minutes. I figured you'd have time to check them out and see if you wanted to ban them altogether. But I figured 30 minutes to think, and I told them to be respectful. Val, it's great to see you, Val. I hope you and your family are doing well. Oh, geez. Yeah, I wasn't able to stick around too long this morning. I had, uh, I don't want to get anybody in trouble for this, but I had two devices playing two different lives and, just trying to show a little support for as many people as I could. Look at there. There's that big smile. Teacher Chrissy. Soul Star. Good morning. And it's good to see you. I hope you're having a great start to your day. I had a title all typed out and everything, and thought I was doing good this morning. And then I forgot to change the orientation on the camera. And once you go live, you can't change the orientation, which is whatever. Excellent. I am so glad to hear that. Today was another wake up at 3 a.m., lay there for 30 minutes, try to go back to sleep, can't go back to sleep. Go ahead and make the coffee. Watched an old episode of The Invaders, which was kind of neat because Suzanne Plachette was a guest star. I kind of like Suzanne. Yep, that's what it's all about. Relaxing, nature, ease into our mornings. Some people are tapering down at the end of their days, though. Teacher Crizzy, it's nighttime there. Sounds more like you had a good time eating. Yeah, I think Teacher Crizzy's about 7:22 at night. She's making sure I get plenty of chat credit. Yep. I am very lucky to have people from pretty much everywhere. Still haven't got anybody from Antarctica, but hey, it might happen one day. Thanks, Soul Star. I don't know about that. See, if you guys ask others in chat to leave a like or comments, I think that one of y'all doing that one time is better than me doing it 100 times, which I'd never do because it kind of takes away from the easing into our day thing. Frank, good morning. Uh, Frank, if you'll send that communication that I left message for you, I would appreciate it. And give Maggie a big hug for me. All right. I'm not, my phone's not attached to my email, but I try to check it once a day. I'll check it a little later and get back to you, Frank. I really appreciate it, Frank. Oh, Juan, you were asking about people who play guitar. Frank plays guitar very well. Uh, Frank, Juan, he writes music also. I kind of like when Frank plays some of the sometimes people might call it a little slower technical stuff. Really, maybe smooth jazz would be accurate. I'm not sure. All I know is it sounds good. And again, if you want to share your channel, just read the message I left pinned up at the top. Nightbot takes care of that. There you go. Wow. Teacher Chrissy. I'm thinking about making another pot of coffee. The only thing is, if I drink another pot of coffee, I might go to sleep. Yeah, Val. Down in South Carolina, I saw a group of turkey buzzards, and it was kind of unusual. Moved back up here in North Carolina, and boy, they're everywhere. And some of them are not afraid of humans. I got within probably 15 foot of one, and I don't remember if I got video of it or not, but it was up on Pilot Mountain. Shirley. Hey, Shirley. I hope you're doing well. I left you a message in chat. I don't know how long it was when you left your message between then and when I did, but a lot of times I'm listening to programs and I'm not really keeping up with chat. So thank you for your patience. I'm just not seeing the fog that the weatherman's calling that we got. they're saying visibility around here is supposed to be like 2 miles. And I think I can see further than 2 miles. I wish you guys could have had a pizza at Pie Works. It was a place in Greensboro, close to the college. That was their main target audience, was college kids. But they they had 750 toppings available. If you wanted chicken on your pizza, they had it. If you wanted rattlesnake on your pizza, they had it. They had a pizza that they called the 49er, and it had like 3 different kinds of meat, 2 different kinds of onions, a variety of peppers, and my mouth's watering just thinking about it. Pizza on my pizza, isn't that what they call a calzone? Got to put the exclamation in front of me. No spaces. The exclamation goes before me. Nightbot has, that's how Nightbot can tell if it's a command. It starts with an exclamation. There you go. I tried to make it the fewest characters for people to be able to share their channels. They had so much stuff I don't even remember. Probably, I don't remember past 50 ingredients, let alone the other 700. But it was dangerous because I lived like 5 minutes from that pizza place. 5 minutes from that pizza place, less than 5 minutes to my favorite Thai restaurant, and about 2 minutes from the barbecue place. I was pudgy around the middle big time. Oh, they've got it on the news now. They're saying it. 84 years ago was Pearl Harbor. Yeah, I'm a big fan of women looking like women, not 12-year-old girls. I think it was my seventh grade science teacher. She she said everybody ought to be able to pinch an inch around their waist. Because if you get sick and you can't eat, you got to have something to live off of. And I often remind people about that nice little story we learned as children, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. There's too much, there's too little, and there's just right. Yeah, Val, there's very, very few left. Because the last year of the war was 45, and anybody going in had to be 18 years old. Of course, there was some that snuck in at a younger age, but 18 and 84, that's 200, I mean, 102. So, yeah, there's very few around. The Yeah, when I was growing up, I was super skinny because there wasn't anything I liked to eat. I was always sick. If you guys see a real veteran out there, I'm sorry to say there's a couple that are fake, but uh, you see a real veteran out there, thank them. Wow, Shirley. Did you get to know Adrian Cronauer? Good morning, Vietnam. Shirley, you probably know this, so don't tell everybody. But it's kind of trivia. The character in Good Morning Vietnam, Adrian Cronauer, when he left Vietnam, who replaced him? Give everybody a chance, Shirley, and then I'll let you spill the beans. Yes, it was. Uh, I think it was the TV show MASH, and they had a quote or a line that they used in the TV series that I truly believe in. Somebody said, "War is hell," and one of the character, I think it was Hawkeye, said, "No, war is worse than hell because in hell you're only going to find people who are supposed to be there. In war, it's people who's supposed to be there and people who shouldn't be there, both." I, I kind of agree with that because a lot of innocent people get caught up in wars. So the replacement for Adrian Cronauer was Shirley. You going to type it? It was Wheel of Fortune's Pat Sajak. See, that's the kind of useless trivia that I got banging around in my head. I couldn't even tell you where I heard that, but I did see Pat Sajak confirm that it was true. Oh, okay. Yeah, the strangest, and I mean the strangest military story is a guy I met when I was living in Tennessee. He was in the Navy, and he was a weatherman in the Navy. And it was years after he got out of the Navy when he first saw the ocean. And it's like, how can you be in the Navy and never see the ocean? But he got through his entire time in the Navy and never saw open water other than a lake or pond, you know. I think he said he did all of his service in almost central United States. Val, I'm glad you're able to wait till the 7-0. McDonald's is one of the places I never worked. I worked in a local hamburger chain. And I worked in a sit down restaurant. And then I bartended in a couple of restaurants. There's a book. I don't know if it's fact or fiction. I don't even remember who wrote it, but the title of the book is Stand By to Start Your Engines. And it's about antics in the military. Val, the time frame that you're talking, I think your full retirement age is probably 67. I mean, you couldn't even do full Social Security until 67. Yeah, that's one thing about people who come into this chat. We do look after one another. Thank you, Teacher Chrissy. It was kind of nice yesterday morning. I didn't hear any trucks going by out front. I think it was probably 10 o'clock before I heard a car go by. Yeah, Frank Juan released an album. What was it, Juan? Last year, I think it was last year, and every song on it was good. I mean, in my opinion, it was good. Well, Val, whatever you do, good luck. We wish you the best. If I could find a job, especially now that Social Security is not taxed, if I could find a job, I would. I'd work, but I'd want to do something like 3 days a week, like 3 10-hour days or 3 12-hour days. That way, during the summertime, I'd have a day to mow the yard, and I would still have 3 days for short trips. There was a couple of jobs, but they would have required the jab, and I'm not getting the jab. Wow, Shirley. I think I've probably had it 2 or 3 times, but the first time I got it was before it made the news, and I thought I had a funny cold, but Then when they started going through the symptoms, and I had lost a lot of my taste for a good while, uh, then that was when I realized that I had the bug. And the weather guy is still saying that we got freezing fog here. Eh, I went into work. I didn't know it was anything big. Like I said, I just thought it was a light cold. And I mean, with my asthma and my age, according to the experts, I should have been 6 foot under, but no, didn't happen that way. But everybody knew I was sick because I wore a coat in the work. Speaking of rock, uh, what's his name announced his retirement a few weeks ago. Juan, Dave Coverdale, that's who announced his retirement. He sang with Deep Purple, or no, he sang with Rainbow and Whitesnake. He could belt out some music. Yep, I liked Ronnie James Dio. I saw Ronnie in a interview, and they were asking him about Richie Blackmore, and Ronnie, being the ever positive person he was, he said, "Yeah, Richie taught me how not to treat fans." In other words, Richie, he treated people badly, not just fans, but lead singers. That's why Deep Purple and Rainbow went through so many lead singers. Uh, Thanks, Val. Uh, but he was a great guitarist. Come up with some of the best riffs ever come up with. Val, I hope your day goes well and all your family is doing as good as possible. Uh, That sounds like the guy from Wham singing. I think that was one of his songs, or he covered it anyway. Yeah, the guy on Wham, oh gosh, can't even remember his name. He is deceased, but that's lyrics to one of the songs he sang. Guilty Feet, I think, was his thing. Very similar lyrics, let's put it that way. Yep. Wasn't really a big fan of George Michael or Boy, either one. Yeah. And Dave introduced us to Tony, made Tony famous. There you go. It's already 8 o'clock. Boy, time flew. Seems like I've been sitting here talking with you guys for 2 minutes. So one, you get an electric or acoustic. What you going to end up with? Cool. Yeah, give Frank a listen. He plays guitar very well. Charlie, Charlie, I enjoyed the parade. Trust me. I was standing here in the kitchen eating a bowl of chili. I, And I didn't have to stand out in the cold. Charlie did her local Christmas parade last night for a live. That looks like a nice little community there. Well, I tried out a new chili just to give it a give it a chance. I guess it was a little bit inexpensive, and it proved the old saying: "You get what you pay for." I will not be purchasing that chili again. Oh, Frank, I told somebody to cut up hot dogs and put it on a pizza. They thought I was crazy, but they tried it and they loved it. Come on down here to North Carolina, Charlie. Bring your family. You can live in the country, in the mountains. You can go to a big city like Charlotte. You can get a mid-sized city like Winston-Salem. I think Winston-Salem's about 180,000, but you're within Winston, Greensboro, High Point. Those three make what they call the triad, and those three towns together, we've got close to 600,000 people, I think. So you're not out in the boonies. There's Salem, Mass, Salem, Virginia, Salem, North Carolina. We got a bunch. And then there's Salem cigarettes. Tons of those things. Tons. Well, guys, I'll be looking at chat as much as I can, but boonies, yeah. Uh, you can live on the coast in North Carolina. You can live on the inlet. You can uh, you can live in the mountains. That's right, Frankie. That's right. But what I was saying is that if I don't get to what you say in chat, just give me a minute or two because I'm gonna make another pot of coffee. You can hear the percolator. Actually, it's drip, but percolator sounds better, doesn't it? Soul Star, I tell you, you sing pretty good. Everybody in chat sings better than I do. If you put a musical note in a bucket and chain it around my neck, I don't think I could carry it. Cannot carry a tune, let me tell you. It's terrible. It's really a shame. As much as I like music, I can't sing. I like ABBA to ZZ Top and a little bit of everything in between. Yes, Shirley writes poetry and posts it on my channel. Yeah. Well, Soul Star, there is one occasion where I would sing. If the building's on fire, I will sing in order to empty the building quicker. Because I'm a big believer in a man's got to know his limitations. Mm-hmm. When I visited friends out in Anaheim, one of their neighbors was a dancer on Soul Train. He tried to get me to come to Soul Train with him. Could you imagine little skinny 25-year-old me on Soul Train? I shall neither confirm nor deny that information, Juan. I can safely say that one of my bartending jobs, uh, some of the women that work there, uh, more than one told me we'd rather dance with you because you know what you're doing, and some bozo was going to ask them to dance, and they didn't want to dance with that person because he didn't know what he was doing, apparently. Yeah, for certain songs, yep, me too. I'm gonna be the first one. I ain't waiting because most songs that they play on the radio are too short. Yep, yep. Dylan released it first, but didn't sound anything like Jimmy's. there was a lot of that multi releases back in the 60s. No internet. And geez, there was so much. The record companies was just stealing from their own people. That's why I got on one of my playlists is no 3 minute limit, because a song should last as long as the creator wants it to last. Roger Blair, what's up, Roger? See, I told you I needed that extra pot of coffee. Thank goodness YouTube has whiteout, or their version of whiteout. Retracted and redacted. Oh, geez, I'm turning into a politician. Ugh. Teacher Crizzy. The best rock stars of the 60s, 70s, and 80s really started out as more blues. I mean, even Huey Lewis and the News, they said they were a blues band. They just changed over to write something that was more mainstream. Hall & Oates said they were a blues band. And quite a few of Hall & Oates' bigger hits, you can really tell that they are more toward blues. And all of those commands that Nightbot just posted, you guys can type those if you want to. I mean, all you got to do is put the exclamation and then the person's name, and it'll type whatever. Something unique to that person. I mean, Steely Dan, they were a jazz band that maintained their jazz roots and still got into to be very, very popular. I had one of their album releases in my jazz list, but I guess copyright laws made them take it down, so it's not there. Yeah, and I kind of understand. That's why I don't. I mean, I'll post some photos on here, but the resolution is greatly reduced, and it's pretty easy for me to prove that I did the original photo because people. Uh, I think the so-called sampling set a bad example for people. People think they can just grab and use anything they want to. A printer company wanted to use one of my black and whites because, in their words now, it's an Ansel Adams without having to pay Ansel Adams prices, and they expected me to give it to them, and it was like, nope, I'm not going to get rich and retire off of it, but you're not getting it for pennies on the dollar. Pretty close one, unfortunately. Um, two of the top three country songs supposedly are AI written right now on the country charts. And on Spotify, they did a survey, and 80% of the people could not distinguish between AI generated music and real music. It's like the Merry Christmas short video. I probably could have generated something way more detailed through AI, but there's no way I was going to do that. I took a bag and some tissue, gift tissue, and then that little house in my tree. Hey, teacher Crizzy. All right, here we are, round two of the coffee pot. But see, I can't do that. I just can't do that. It's going to kill creativity. It's like smartphones have made us dumb. I can tell you the phone numbers of the girl I dated in the seventh grade, my best friends in high school. I know all of those phone numbers, but I couldn't tell you hardly two or three phone numbers from memory today because it's in my phone. All I got to do is hit a couple of buttons. I mean, when AI can write something like Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell, that entire album, when AI can write something like that, Boston's first release, the entire album, uh, Foreigner's first release, the entire album. Hey, John P., you know, when AI can do something like that, then I might be a little bit impressed. But the Soul Star, I've not listened to Boston in at least 24 hours. Boston got me in a little bit of trouble. I bought tickets to go see Boston when they their first time coming to this area, and it was they came on the night of the high school prom. So my girlfriend was a little upset with me. But what are you going to do? Donna, how you doing, Donna? So glad to see you. I hope you're having a good day. All those books stacked up so high. Those shelves were like 2 stories high and no ladder to get to the books. That was crazy. Oh, geez. You leaving work now, Donna? Well, I hope you have safe travels home. Donna's in the big city. She's around all those high rise buildings. Hmm. I don't know if it's because I was craving it so bad, or if I got into good practice this morning earlier. But this second pot of coffee is way better than the first. I think it was around 1980. Uh, and don't quote me on this, but I think the information is correct. Julie Christie was in a movie, Demon Seed. And if you haven't seen the movie, go back and watch it. Like I said, came out around 1980, and the title of the movie is Demon Seed. And you'll see how much ahead of its time it was. Soul Star, I understand. I would like to learn several things too, but I just don't have the dedication. I mean, I have my trumpet here, and I have been wanting to pull it out and practice. And the other day, I went looking for my sheet music, and I couldn't find it. I got so much stuff in boxes and everything. I really need to start selling stuff if I had a good place to sell it. Yeah, Donna plays guitar also. Uh, I'm not a very good cook. And I don't mind telling you guys that because I try to keep it real. And I cook to survive. I don't cook for, high end delicacies and whatnot. I'm not really a Kenny G fan. Saxophone is more difficult to learn because of all the keys, but once you learn the keys, it's easier to play. Uh, Trumpet is easy to start, But as time goes on, because there's only 3 keys, but as time goes on to play, especially the higher notes, you've got to get your lip muscles in shape. But I wanted to play trumpet because of Herb Alp and Doc Severson. Yeah, but another reason to play trumpet was it was good exercise for my lungs because of the asthma. It's a lot more fun playing trumpet than blowing up balloons. Yeah, if you're good enough on some notes, not all notes, but on some notes, you can do what they call circular breathing, where you can actually keep the note going for just a split second while you inhale some. Hey, Nova. Hopefully, Nova and Maggie are both listening. I don't know. Maggie may have had her bacon and taken a nap now. When I was in grade school, I played in the traveling band, and I enjoyed that. I really did. We played some CCR, Chicago, Carpenters, Moggs. Good morning, sir. Moggs, I hope you're having a good start to your day. We started out with like 27 degrees and freezing fog. Well, I'm glad you was able to sleep in, Moggs. The coldest I've been tent camping was probably about, I don't know, 30 degrees, something like that. I got a sleeping bag that supposedly is good down to 0, but I've never tested it to 0. The crows are going to town this morning. Yeah. I had 1 or 2 days last week. There was enough frost where pretty much everything looked white. Yeah. Sometimes, Soul Star, we just have to do what we got to do. Me and some friends one night, we was just sitting around talking, and the subject of the beach came up about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't remember who brought it up, but they said, we need to go to the beach and watch sunrise sometime. Well, no time like the present. So we took off, drove 4 hours, watched the sun come up at the beach, played on the beach for a little bit, cleaned up as best as we could, and come home. Uh, Moggs, tomorrow they're calling for snow. So if it starts snowing like 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 is the time they're talking, I might go live. So let Stevie know that she might get to see some snow tomorrow. Yeah, Soul Star, I know how that goes. Because she was saying she wanted to see snow. So let's see here. Uh, some of the equipment I used to work with, I had to deal with liquid nitrogen. Hassan, hello, Hassan. Hope you're doing good today. And liquid nitrogen was lots of fun. A drop of it would hit the tabletop, and it would just be a puff of smoke. Well, Moggs, hopefully it won't be raining in the latter part of the week. Weather, somebody wanted me to take them somewhere yesterday, and I wasn't able to. It was frozen here until later in the morning. Wow. That's a little bit drastic there, Soul Star. And, there's been movie stars that put makeup on to make it look like they had a mole. Moggs, I'm in for the long haul today. I'm on my second pot of coffee. Is well, they neither one was full pots. It was only 10 cups. And since I'm going this long, you guys bear with me. I'm going to try to plug in the camera outside so that the battery don't go dead. Boy, there's bright sunshine everywhere. Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Crow. All right. Let's see here. 29. And we got a beautiful moon. That'd be chilly out there. I mean, chilly. Well, if you wanted to accentuate it, I think the movie stars use the eyeliner or whatever, make a dot. I think Miss Kitty had a dot. What? It was obstructing your chewing? Hey, Donna. Donna, are you on the train, subway? Big Crow. It's too cold to shave here. And YouTube already thinks I'm a child. If I was to shave, YouTube might call me a baby. Oh, okay. Well, if it was giving you problems like that, then I understand. Exactly, Roger. I mean, Hollywood, it's all about fakeness, being fake. I don't like the way they promote just being fake, and I really don't like the way they promote, everybody being a toothpick. That's right, Juan. Just be yourself. My niece, at one time, she was working as a beautician, and my hair was falling out. She gave me some stuff that was supposed to keep your hair from falling out. It's like, uh, I'll use it. I don't think it'll do any good, but you were nice enough to get it. I'll use it. Didn't do much, and I wouldn't take any of that stuff or rub any of that stuff on my head to for that. Too many bad side effects. When I was in my early 20s and had a big fro, uh, at that time I thought I would really freak out when the hair, deserted, but no big deal. It is what it is. I just put on a bandana or something to keep from getting sunburned. Well, guys, I'm just going to be me, nobody else. Nah, I'm not going to shave. And, I'm definitely not going to let the hair on the sides and back grow out. I don't want to look like Bozo the Clown. For y'all old enough to remember who Bozo is. I wonder how many people call others Bozo and they don't know the history of the word bozo. Hey, Donna, are you still on the train going home? Or are you home yet? Still on your way home, okay. Bozo, there was a clown on television, and his name was Bozo the Clown. And I used to watch him when I was a kid. Oh, you're fine, Donna. Don't worry about it. I don't spell that well either. And sometimes, even when I get the spelling right, auto incorrect changes it to a different word or something. So if something doesn't sound right, I might ask you, what did you mean by that? But don't worry about it. No big deal. You're fine, Donna. All right, Juan. I mean, if people were not expected to make mistakes, pencils wouldn't have erasers. They're there for a reason. Just like YouTube has that retract statement, whatever. The second pot of coffee's working. I'm getting sleepy. And I believe, Roger, that Chicago was home to Bozo. But when I was a kid in the 60s, early 60s, Bozo the Clown would come on Saturdays, I think it was. That was back when Saturday morning television was cartoons and children's shows. I could watch Mighty Mouse, Johnny Quest, Space Ghost. Soul Star, get a couple of those pads. I know somebody who had a dog. The dog did not want its feet to get wet. And had I not witnessed this with my very own eyes, I would not have believed it. The dog would go outside, go on the porch, walk down the sidewalk, walk out to the patio that had a carport for the cars to be parked under. The dog would turn around and back up to the edge of the carport and do its business in the grass next to the carport. And it would get its feet right next to the edge of the carport, but it never got its feet in the wet grass. Paws, I should say. One smart dog. The Herculoids, Spider-Man, Superman, Underdog. I got you, Frank. Don't worry. Yeah. Enjoy. Oh, I'm so glad to see you take good care of Maggie. She's a good little puppy. One of my neighbors has a little puppy, well, full grown dog, but I call her a puppy. And her name is Maggie. She'll come and visit. Some mornings I'll open up the front door in warmer weather. And there she'll be sitting, looking in the storm door. I'll be taking a break from mowing. And when I take a break, I'll come inside, get a Dr. Pepper and a pack of nabs. And then I'll go sit on the back porch and eat the nabs and drink a little bit of the Dr. Pepper. And the dog learned that routine. The mower stops, and I come inside. And when I come back out, she's sitting on the top step at the back porch, looking in the screen, waiting for me to come back out when my break. I'm a big fan of that rotisserie chicken, also. Huh. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry to hear it was broken. Spirit the sky blue, face the ace. Um, Donna, I could be monetized, but I'm putting that off because I really don't want commercials playing during nature videos. There might come a day that I have to, but I'm going to resist that. I just don't want commercials playing during nature videos. Uh, like I said, right now I can get by without that. One day I might have to do that, and if I had to, I probably would. But I'm kind of picky about the channel, and I want everything to be relaxing for people. Now, if I could do it and designate commercials to only be played at the beginning or the end, uh, that would be more acceptable. I hope that makes sense to everybody. There's only a handful of people that actually watch the longer videos. Most people watch the shorts, but still, it's important to me to make sure everything stays natural on the channel. And I was watching a couple of channels here this last week, and they played a commercial in the middle of whatever the program was. It came back to the regular program, and they might have gotten 3 or 4 sentences out, and then another commercial played. And it just made it hard to follow the conversation with the interruptions like that. And YouTube has introduced now commercials that you can't skip. The whole commercial has to play. You can't skip it. So now I am putting the channel in such a I've got everything set up in such a way that if I needed to flip that switch for whatever reason, I could do it quickly and easily. I don't have any controversial content. Everything is original. Uh, I did it myself. So, oh, really? Okay. Oh, geez. But yeah, I could have been monetized a year ago. The first level, there's different levels of monetization. If I could find a reputable company to make like mugs and t-shirts, I have several ideas for mugs and t-shirts for the channel, but they want so much money for just a mug. I mean, it's ridiculous. uh, I found an inexpensive place, and the mugs turned out, they look really good, but they're made in China, and I don't know, long term what the quality is. So I'll probably give them to a couple of people. And I've got cards from when I was doing photography exhibits, because people don't buy, you know, 16 by 20 photography every day. So I had some cards made up and used them to promote. Excellent. Do the exclamation ME so everybody can go to your channel and listen to your music. If you behave, I might even go and listen to some of your music. But anyway, hold off a second, Juan. There you go. Now you can do it. If two people do it back to back, Nightbot will ignore one of them. So now's a good time. Come on. And the next level of monetization, which is the middle level, I'll probably reach it in a month or two. And if Google would allow me to download an app without giving them a credit card because it's a free app, I would go live on a different platform. Because on that platform, you don't have to worry about political correctness. I can always prove it's mine. Well, I'll check into it. It wouldn't be hard to do. At least I don't think it's hard to do. I think I remember seeing that setting in YouTube. Yeah, in YouTube, it has it has a setting where you can put like your logo, and but I also select where I do not allow others to use audio or video from my long format. videos. So if they take them with that selected, that just gives me a little extra. Hey, Sharon. Sharon, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're feeling better, feeling good. All the kids are happy and healthy. Grandkids happy and healthy. I'm greedy. I want everybody over there to be doing great. Well, 2 pots of coffee. I am sipping on my last cup of the second pot. Yeah, feeling pretty good. All things considered, I'm doing great. I was kind of hoping we might see Mr. Lee this morning. Maybe he's listening and not saying too much, which is another reason to keep this family friendly, is so people in other parts of the world don't get in trouble for coming to the channel. Oh, that's too bad. Sorry, guys. Getting some texts coming in. A lady was, yeah, I saw that on TV on the news one. Uh, a lady texted me that she was sorry we couldn't get together to do some business. It's like, well, I gave you a heads up 3 weeks ago. And today was the deadline to get the business done. And they're texting me last night. Apparently, I think it was last night. I didn't notice it until just now. I should have texted back, well, I tried. But that's the mischievous Jim. I much prefer being the nice Jim. Yeah, and next Netflix buying them out really starts to turn Netflix into a monopoly. Michael Haywood, good morning. And monopolies are not good for us. It's the example I like to use. You go to most any town, and if you find a corner that has 3 or 4 gas stations on one on each corner of the same intersection, you're going to get the best gas prices right there. Because they're within sight of one another, and customers can go to one just as easy as the other. So the competition drives the price down. Oh, and Juan, I paid $2.59 a gallon for gas. $2.59 is pretty good. See, Michael, everybody's glad to see you here this morning. Yeah, I know. In California, it's almost $5 a gallon. Yep. I think it's come down a little, but I think it's still hovering around $5 last I heard. Donna rides the bus and the train. So, Donna, do you know what the price of gas is where you're at? I'd be curious. Well, riding the bus, you kind of need to be in a larger city. Well, okay. Cool, Juan. I used to drive the bus. It was a school bus. Yeah, Donna. Trust me, I understand that. Well, now that I've been back here a few years, there's quite a few places that I would feel comfortable riding the motorcycle. I might put one of my motorcycles back on the road. Depends on how much insurance is and everything. But I've got a small motorcycle. It's just a 250, but it gets like 70 miles to the gallon. But you would have to do a lot of riding to make it worth its while. Moggs is trying to tell everybody where I'm at on Tuesday and Thursday nights. 9 o'clock Eastern. Once I got to where I was healthy enough to get out and go, uh, me and my cousin used to walk along the roads and pick up glass drink bottles and turn them in for the deposit. That was a win-win. We kind of cleaned up the roadsides and we made a little cash. And there for a very short time, it was only a few months, they had the new glass 1 liter bottles or whatever. We got a quarter for those. That was a jackpot find. I wish I had the glass large bottle for Sprite. It was green. It had a great shape to it. Had the little dimples in it. It was a nice bottle. And then they went to plastic. Blech. Yeah, we could walk around and make like $2 or $3 a piece in an afternoon. Really, Juan, take a picture and send it to me. Especially the Sprite. It was a green glass. It was really nice. But $2 back then was something else because gas was less than well, it might have gotten up to a quarter by then. Yeah, absolutely. And do they have a deposit on it when you buy it at the store? Really? That's cheap. I was in Dollar Tree yesterday, and they had it was half a liter bottle of like Dr Pepper and whatnot. It's $1.75. I gotta check something out here. Yeah, they do. I like them. I mean, that's where I get all my snacks. Because when it comes to certain snacks, they got the best deals. Yeah, I miss the glass. It's might not be every day, but it is very regular that I think about having an RC cola from a glass container because RC is strong. It'll eat right through a can. The little house that I used in my Merry Christmas video, I got it at Dollar Tree. They, oh yes, exactly, Misty. Either flavor of moon pie. I was in high cotton when I had an RC cola and a moon pie because that was a rare treat. We were poor. There's a good chance that the bag that I put behind the tree in the house, there's a good chance I got that bag at Dollar Tree too. So you know you're poor when you live in a 4-room house and the only water is the kitchen sink. No water heater. If you wanted hot water, you had to put it in a pot or something and put it on the stove. Microwaves were not invented, and we had an oil heater that was in one room. And if you got in the diagonal opposite room in the winter, you were chilly, very chilly. So Mongs, do you have any appointments today? I hope you're able to take the day off and do a video fishing out the out your window there. Yes, Merry Christmas, one and all. Gotcha, Juan. No problem. You say Merry Christmas. All of you say Merry Christmas anytime and every time you want to. I don't mind you repeating yourself on that one. That's why I put Merry Christmas in the title and Merry Christmas in the video. And those spots on the screen that you see moving back and forth when the wind blows, those spots are ice. We've already had a couple of snows, and they're calling for snow tomorrow, but they're calling for it. So who knows if we'll get it or not. But if it starts snowing, I'll throw the camera on the back porch and aim it up. Oh yeah, it would be extra beautiful if it wasn't 28 degrees. I think Boone got snow 2 months ago. Boone got a snow toward the end of September. Yeah, Treezilla's looking a little thin. Looks like they dropped that oxygen eating device into the water. They had a name for it in the movie, and I don't remember the name. Svengoolie had the Mummy's Tomb on last night. I probably watched about 3 or 4 minutes and said, nope, can't do this. Seen that movie too many times. Wow. I watched Scrooged the other day. Get me in the Christmas spirit. And I watched Die Hard a day or two ago. Get me in the Christmas spirit. I might watch Die Hard too. It's a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say, Juan. You can make fun of it all you want to. It's a warm-hearted Christmas movie. Good guys win, bad guys lose. What more could you want? Juan, I'm beginning to think I'm related to Audrey because her tastes seem to run parallel to mine. And no big deal. Auto incorrect. I think everyone who comes to this chat on a semi regular basis knows about my bad spelling and auto incorrect. Well, Juan, you know the routine. When did Elf come out? And what does that mean? Roger Blair, I agree with you on Christmas Story. And Christmas Vacation is in its, what was it they said? 40th, 40 some anniversary. Chevy Chase is going to do some kind of live appearance celebrating the release of that movie. It was on the news earlier, but I had the volume turned off. Now I'm watching Marlon Perkins let Jim chase a rhinoceros with a tranquilizer dart. So you were singing the song by, I think it was the Stampeders, One Toke Over the Line. Uh, my brain won't let me do that. Brewer and Shipley did that. I knew the Stampeders was wrong. It just wasn't sitting right in my brain. And you guys know I can't give you out bad information. I have to correct myself. Oh, geez, it's going to have to be It's a Wonderful Life. Now, tomorrow it might be Miracle on 34th Street, but today it's a Wonderful Life. Just depends on how much coffee I've had, what kind of day it was, what the previous conversation did. But they're interchangeable. They're both great Christmas movies. Oh, geez, Christmas song. That's hard. That is hard. I wouldn't call it my favorite Christmas songs, but usually every year I pull out my Chipmunks Christmas CD and play it at least once. Because, I kind of like watching the Chipmunks when I was growing up. Yeah, Misty, I kind of agree with you there. There's just too many that I really, really like. Ooh. Yeah, I like the Chipmunks. Alvin! Alvin! And of course, to many people that come to this channel and most everybody that goes to Mog's channel, uh, Friday night they played our favorite subject, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they had the Abominable Snowman. Abominable Snowman. Cool. I was late putting the battery in my tree. I was just shouting Alvin. That wasn't singing. I've got Elvis Christmas. I got that album. I got Tennessee Ernie Ford. I really like Tennessee Ernie Ford. I used to watch his show. I've got him singing. I've got one of his gospel albums. Yeah. WTF Mike, he says that he plays music and he never gets dinged. So I don't, but other people play music and they get dinged right away. I mean, I don't know what I'm missing. Well, Donna, if I hope I see it, and if I don't see it live, I hope to see it in the replay. It's this big piece of vinyl that has these little indentations on it that you spin around at a certain speed and put a needle in there and sound comes out. That used to be, we're talking long decades ago, but that used to be a topic of discussion when we first started hearing about this thing called a CD. And I was doing the talking with people about the history of music and how when they went from 78s to 33 and a third albums, that it doubled the amount of music that was on an album, and fidelity was better and all of that stuff. And then they had cassettes and 8 tracks, and even more music could go on those and still be relatively decent quality. Because I mean, I had personally an hour and a half cassette was about as good as it got. Anything past that and the quality wasn't all that good. But we just went to, okay, on this medium we had X, on this medium it was 2X, on this medium it was 3X, and then now I can put every one of my songs that I have purchased in the past, I could put them on my phone if I wanted to. Yeah, I had an MP3 player that I put like, oh geez, 4,000 songs on the MP3 player. And on my S20, which had the you could change out the SD cards on those. I had, what was it? It was between 8 and 9,000 songs on my phone, because I had taken all of my CDs and put them on the computer and then put that on my phone. Plus, I have something that I can take a cassette or an album and put it on CD. And the MP3 player I had, it was, to me, it was comical. I would play it into a speaker, and it had this thing where it would randomly play music, and you would play a game of name that tune, pretty much. And people was always impressed that I was able to name the tune, and it was like, well, duh, it's my MP3 player, and I put all the music on there, so I kind of know everything that's on here. I didn't say that out loud. I thought that in my head. I got a decent collection of CDs. My albums, like I said, is only about 3 or 4 foot deep. CDs, I've got 4 stacks that are 4 foot apiece, give or take. I've got 2 spinners that are full, and I've got several shelves that are full of CDs. And I thank Nightbot for telling you guys, reminding me to tell you guys that I appreciate you. Yeah, Juan, I'm going to have to talk you into getting me a copy of that first one because of the title, if nothing else. And I got some stuff on CD from a couple of local bands that I would say 99.9999% chance that nobody here has ever heard of them. Wow, Roger. I don't own any 78s. I sold all of those years ago. I've got every record or album I ever purchased except for uh, I made the mistake of leaving some 45s, a stack of them, in a place where, as the day progressed, the sun was shining on them and it warped one of the 45s. And I traded all of my George Carlin LPs, 3 of them, for Kiss Alive. Yeah, I like how he made people think for his jokes. I totally disagreed with his politics, but I totally agreed with his ability to make people think and laugh. Oh my goodness, Roger! Now that is cool. I remember watching Davy Crockett all the time, and Daniel Boone. But my family is big Western fans. Even people that married into the family are big Western fans. Nope, I was never really into comic books. Anybody else though? Comic books? And you guys can, if you want to switch to comic books, that's fine. I think everybody knows the short list of topics that we don't get into here. That's fine. I mean, friends and relatives of mine did have comic books, and I would glance through them, but nothing really, struck my fancy. I'd rather watch Saturday morning cartoons than do anything with comic books. Yeah, I know. If I had some of the stuff I had as a child, I would be fairly well off. But I had this thing called siblings, and I couldn't keep much of anything. Yeah, the only thing I collected that's worth way more than what I paid for it is probably that CD, Alan Parsons Tales of Mystery and Imagination, and it's instead of being the aluminum oxide stuff, they use gold, so it's worth a few pennies. cool. Yes, that is cool. Yeah, Roger, I like Big Jake and the Sons of Katie Elder. John Wayne had some really good westerns. And I have one laser disc, one, and I don't have a player though. I've never watched it, but it's "The Day the Earth Stood Still," and it's autographed by Roger Wise. Not sure on that first name. Last name's Wise though. Yeah, I like that movie, Five Card Stud, with Robert Mitchell, Roddy McDowall. I think he was in it. Oh my goodness, it's after 10 o'clock. You guys, thank y'all. Appreciate everybody coming in. I'm going to put on a coat and cap and go outside to stop the camera. So everybody take a next couple of minutes to say bye. And like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in. I didn't realize it was so late. I was having so much fun talking with you guys. And those that want to do the not all at once, but exclamation ME. Oh, Donna, you are welcome. I do what I can. I mean, people who come into my chat, I try my best to listen to their content also. And, you know, good people, I really try to support good people. And as always, I hope hundreds and thousands of kind words come your way today. Smile. It makes people that like you smile back and makes them happy. People that don't like you makes them ill at ease because they wonder what you're up to.